Hey, hey, all right. I am so excited. Looks like we have everything pulled up, everything ready to go, and I am super excited for you. I want to welcome each and every one of you, and I want you to know that nobody's going to ask, and nobody's going to make you, put you on the spot, make you raise your hand, nothing like that. I want you to be comfortable and ready to put your numbers down. That's what is going to matter. My numbers won't mean a thing. How my life was set up when I first started the business that I'm in will not matter to you. Okay. If I say, we're going to pretend you make $100 an hour, it's not going to make a difference if you don't make $100 an hour. It's only going to matter to the people who make $100 an hour. Does that make sense? Your numbers matter to you and your family. Okay. Nobody's going to call on you to say, oh, Regina, would you tell me what you're making? Nobody's going to put you on the spot. Okay. Besides that, I want you to have complete freedom to say, no, I don't want to tell you. Okay. So unless you are paying somebody or you are having somebody coach you on where you put what, then nobody should know your numbers. Your numbers should be your numbers. Now, if you want to teach somebody, great. But nobody should say, oh, how much are you making? How much are you saving? Like, that is not appropriate for anybody to ask you unless you let them know. You're allowed to say, none of your business. It's for me to know and you not to know. Okay? Your spouse should know. Your partner should know. Whoever is making a decision on paying those bills, they should know. That's it. Unless you want to share with them. So I just want you to feel comfortable when you're writing this stuff down and you're going through your budget. I want you to know that everybody feels like this is a big deal. Everybody is looking at their budget because something isn't working. You're not alone. You're not the only one. And the only reason that I know anything about this is because I had to do this because I was sitting there going, how do I make this work? I felt like I was always robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Like I was always waiting and living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm going to show you why I felt that way because it is so real. My 4-year-old is talking, so if you hear him in the background, it is a 4-year-old, and that is why he sounds like a baby. Anyway, all right, so welcome. Sit down, relax. Budgeting should not be a stressful thing. As a matter of fact, the more you know about the budget and where you're going, the more relaxed you will become. The more you know where that money is going, the more pressure is taken off. I know that it seems like this scary big ordeal. Okay. I know when somebody goes, oh, well, this and this and this add up to this and this and this. Okay. It sounds scary, but it is not rocket science. Kind of like doing math in school. Math made more sense to me. I always liked it more. The reason is because the rules didn't change. 2 plus 2 always equaled 4. It didn't matter what way I wrote it or what way I spun it. Now, if I changed it, then it might change, but only if I changed it. 2 plus 2 equaled 4. The rules were set. And it's the same thing in the budget. Okay. If you make $100 a week, you only have $100 to spend. There's no fancy way to get around that. You can spend what you make, period. Okay, I don't think that it's smart to spend all of what you make, but I want you to go through this. And as you go, oh, well, I get this piece, then you can decide what you want to do from there. Okay, your mark should be I want a savings account, I want money in the bank, I want X amount of money for bills, I want this paid off and this caught up, and this is what I have to live on, and this is within my means. Okay. All of the numbers have to add up. That's it. 2 plus 2 has to equal 4, period. Nothing fancy about it. Okay. I don't want it to be fancy because I don't want it to be a scary thing for you. It's already scary enough. There's already enough that you have to do in life. And when you decide to, go to somebody and have them figure this out or let somebody else just take over, you don't need to be scared by it. Okay. Anyway, so let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen. Let me get that done real quick. And share. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just sharing the numbers that I had when I worked full time. Okay, I worked full time outside of the home. I had my boys in daycare. I was living the life that pretty much everybody lives. Okay, the American dream is a lie. The American dream is very much real. You can choose what you want to do still. But society says the American dream is you have a job and you rob from Peter to pay Paul. And that's just not the American dream I want to live. Robert, be quiet, babe. I understand, but be quiet. All right, so like I said, when I first started, when I found this business, it was because I was sitting in the parking lot of the store and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feed my kids. Like, formula and diapers cost as much as I'm spending on groceries, and I can't do both. Like, I had stretched the limit and robbed from Peter as much as I could to pay Paul, and I was out of options. And so something had to give. That is why I looked at my budget. That's how I know that if you're looking at your budget, there's a reason. It's probably not working. Okay. So we're in the same boat. We're not now necessarily, okay? You will be in this boat in a couple of years. I'm super excited for you to get there. As a matter of fact, you can pay off 90% of what you have really, really quickly if you do this. Okay? Just first step, write everything down. Okay? The only reason for that is not some random thing, okay? Not something just a task you have to do. Okay, there's a reason for it. And that reason is right now where you are. You're here because of the process that you've been doing. So if you're happy with where you are, then good luck. Great. I have nothing for you. You don't need to be here. Apparently you're happy with where you are and you never have to rob from Peter. You're not living paycheck to paycheck. And there's, you really need to go pay somebody to do your savings for you, or, your, where you're going to, spend X amount of money, or where you're going to invest. Okay. That you don't need a free program. You need to go spend money on somebody who knows what they're talking about and can go farther. This is just the beginning. This is just the free piece that I said, look, this is what I've done, and I can teach you how to do it. Okay? All right, so first things first, write everything down. That way, you can prove to yourself, to your own brain, that your money's going somewhere. Now, your money's only going where you allow it to go. It's a tool. You use it. You have it. You're the one with the control over it. Even if somebody else has control over it, it's your responsibility to let them. It's your responsibility to say, hey, you got to stop doing that because we got to take control of this. If you're going to work the hours, you might as well have a say. And I went through a lot of years where I had absolutely no say. I understand. I went through a lot of years where I couldn't even find out how much was in the bank because I was told we're overdrafting every time I spent $4. And I'm thinking, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working 60 hours at one place. As a matter of fact, my entire maternity leave for my daughter and my son and my second son were covered by vacation leave because I worked so many hours that I either had paid time off or vacation time. I didn't even have to take maternity leave. That's what they were used for. I have a 14-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old son, and a 4-year-old son. They were all paid for from vacations that were saved up or paid time off. That's a shame. It means I never took a vacation. I had several years worth of vacations saved up. Let that sink in. Like, we're gonna pause for effect on that. Anyway, my whole point is if you're spending the hours or you're spending the time putting in the work, you should know where that money's going. And if you're allowing somebody else to take control of that money, then again, you have to start by saying, hey, wait a second. Let's just write down where the money's going to find out if we need to make more money or we can save in certain areas. Maybe there's some things we can cut off. One place I would suggest cut off is look at your cable. Are you even watching it? Or are you just letting money go out the window every single month when you've watched apps for the last 4 months and you haven't even watched cable? That's a cheap, easy way. About $100 a month. It's worth the saving. Anyway, so I am so excited to share this with you. All right. So when I first started, I was making $10 an hour. And I also made commissions, but my base was no less than $400 a week. Now, the really cool thing about that was it didn't matter if my kids were sick and I only worked 2 days out of the week. I still made at least $400. I had a base. Okay. What wasn't really cool about it is 9 times out of 10, I didn't miss work even if I was sick. Because again, remember, my maternity leaves were covered by vacation time. Like I didn't miss work. Unless the daycare called and said, hey, come pick up your kid from daycare. I was at work. Okay. So $400 a week. We're going to take taxes out of that because you never even see that money. So taxes, Social Security, 401k, if you have insurance through work, you're never even going to see that money. I do not have that taken out. What I have is just taxes and 401k and just 80% or 20% taken out because you're never going to see that money. Okay, that does not go towards your bills. Okay, that goes towards whatever the government wants it to go towards. Or it goes into your 401k. And I honestly suggest that you match the employer. Okay, if you can get 3%, put 3% in. Okay, do the max limit. But this right here is just to get you going. Okay, you're gonna have at least $80 taken out. So let's say you make $320 a week. Okay, all right, can you afford to work? Like, honestly, you're going to work and spending 40 hours there. In the meantime, you have bills that need to be paid, and that's why you're doing this to provide. And lo and behold, as we go through it, you're going to realize that you don't even cover the cost of working. It costs you to go to work. And that's a real shame. Unless you are making 20, 30, 40, 50, $60 an hour, it costs you to go to work. All right. So I put gas in here and I put it at 10 miles to work, 10 miles from work. Okay. We're going to say you have a 20-gallon tank and you can go 20 miles on each gallon. Okay. So that's 1 gallon a day, 5 times a week. Okay. If gas is only $2.25 a gallon, then it's going to cost you $11.25 a week to go to work. Okay, I didn't put trips to the grocery store, trips for vacation, or trips to visit family, or trips to take your kids back and forth to wherever, whatever you're doing. This is just for work. What does it cost you to get back and forth to work? Home and work, home and work, home and work. That's it. Okay. Do you have a car payment? Because most likely you do. And if you use that car to get to work, and you wouldn't be able to get to work without that vehicle, then you need to put that cost in here. Okay. If you can't get to work without a vehicle, then that is a work cost. It is not a bonus of working. I mean, it is, but you only have that car because you have a job. You only have a job because you have that car. That is a work cost. Will work cover that? Man, that would be great if they did, but not every job does. Even Brandon, who's a CDL driver, doesn't have that. There are some positions, but most likely those people aren't on this Zoom. Okay. So if you have a car and you used to get back and forth to work, and that is how you get to work, then you need to add that into the cost. Daycare. Now I added daycare because it was $235 every single week. Had 2 boys in daycare. And I had to pay $235 regardless of whether or not they were there. If they were sick or they had to go to the doctor or any extras came out, I still had to pay that. I didn't get a discount for that. Again, I only had to have daycare because I had to go to work. So I'm counting that as a work cost. Because when I quit working, my boys got to come home to me. Quit being a bill that I had out there. Okay. Food while you're at work. Now I am like super frugal. And I thought I did so well. I rarely ever spent money on food. Okay. I thought I did really well. But then every once in a while, like about 2 times a week at least, I would get really hungry. And I'd either stop at the gas station or I'd stop at the dollar store or I'd go out to eat or, I splurge here or there. Like I was really frugal, but it was like dieting. You know how you're like, I only eat healthy stuff. And so you do all this healthy stuff. And then all of a sudden a couple of days go by and you're like, man, I'm just going to have one cookie. I haven't tried. And then all of a sudden you're eating the cookies. Same thing. You spend money the same way. Once I started adding all those up, I was like, I might as well take food to work. I might as well feed myself because I'm spending as much because I'm hungry as I would if I just brought food every day. Okay. So let's say you spend between breakfast and lunch $10 or a day, 5 days a week. That's $50 a week. Okay. You see how $10 here or $5 there might add up? That's the point. You got to start writing this down so that you can say, hey, where's my money going? Oh, that's where it's going. I got it. Oh, yay. Okay. And don't lie to yourself. Be very honest. Again, I'm not going to call on you. I'm not going to call you up and say, hey, would you speak on my Zoom? Unless you want to do that. But if you don't want to do that, that's not something that you have to divulge that information at the drop of a hat or on the spur of the moment. Okay. This is for you. Okay. Again, vehicle insurance. How much is that? Divide that by 4. If it costs you $300 a month, divide that by 4. It has to be a bill. because you have to have the insurance to have the car to go to work. Again, it's a work cost. Okay. And if you want to take some of it out of there, say you spend $300 a month, and yes, you have to have that insurance on there to cover the cost to get to work, but you only use your car for work 50% of the time, then divide it by 4 and then divide it by 50%. It's okay to do that, but make it a work cost. Vehicle maintenance. I know that changing your oil seems like, should be your responsibility and shouldn't be a job responsibility, or that's not something that, your expenses should pay for. But again, if you have your car to get to work, you need to be counting the oil changes so that that's not a bill every 3 months. It's not a random thing. You can tell your brain all you want that, oh, just spur of the moment, man, I have to get an oil change. I need $40 or $200 or $60, whatever it is. But I just took it and did 40 divided by 12 weeks. It's $3.33 a week. That doesn't seem like a lot, but if you don't budget it in, then you don't know. And all of a sudden, every 3 months, you have a $40, $60, or $200 bill. Okay, it is a bill. I do not care that it's not standard for the world to say that that is a cost to go to work. But if you're using that car for work, then it is a cost to go to work. Same thing, vehicle tires. It's only $9.62 a week. I only did it off of $500 divided by 52 weeks. My tires are super cheap tires, and I understand that. I get that I have a small car, and I did that on purpose. Okay. I know Brandon's tires cost $2,000. My tires cost $500. I did that on purpose because that's not somewhere that I care about. It's on a car. I'm not trying to go mudding. Okay, he's got a truck. He's got to go through a field. He's got to be off road a little bit. He's got the cows. Like there are some, just differences. His truck goes through the field. My car does not go through the field. Does that make sense? Like my tire expense is going to be different than his. Those are things that we need to adjust for. It's okay. They're just things that need to be written down. Because again, you're going to have a $500 bill or a $2,000 bill, or you can take $9.62 a week and budget it out and see if it costs you to go to work, or if you're good, you're making money. All right. So those are just a few of the working costs. Okay. I didn't put in anything about an electric bill or gas for, any extra trips or food or the house payment or, the phone or anything extra. This is just what it costs you to go to work. Now, if you're making $10 an hour for 40 hours a week, it was costing me $578.20. No wonder I felt like I was robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Because just in the cost that I had to go to work, I didn't have anything extra to cover groceries or extra gas or my trips to Tennessee or taking the kids back and forth to, like Briggs had to go see his dad. Like that wasn't included in this. That wasn't budgeted, but I still had to do that. No wonder I felt like I was robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Here I am bringing in a minimum of $320 a week. Now, like I said, that was great for a few things. It's great if I only have to be at work 2 days a week or 1 day a week. It's great for that. But if I've got to be there 5 days a week through most of my day, because it took me an hour to get to work and an hour to get back, it's not worth it. Okay? I was negative $258.20 on my bare minimum week. So if we had an ice storm and it iced for an entire week, I made $320 because nobody was at work except me. But all of the businesses were closed, so it didn't matter that I worked at commission. They were closed. They didn't answer the phone. Okay, that's the whole point. Is does it cost you to go to work? If you budget all of that out and you make a base, then you need to make sure that your budget fits within the confines of that base so that anything extra is just extra. And when you get into it, say you, because I ended up making more money some weeks, but I would spend it. And I had to cover this and I had to cover this and I needed to pull this from that. And my trips to Tennessee had to, cover extra expenses and it cost me more and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, the whole point is budget what you need to budget. Does it cost you to go to work? Because it was costing me to go to work. No wonder I felt like I was robbing from Peter to pay Paul. I often had two phrases that I used all the time. I feel like I'm robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and my money is always spent before I even make it. Those were my two phrases. And I can't tell you how many times I said them. How many people it was like, I can't believe this. I feel like no matter how good I am at budgeting and figuring things out, my money is always spent before I make it. I cannot tell you how many times I said that. Because I said it at least 12 different times over the course of a couple of years. And all I was doing was teaching my brain that my money is always spent before I ever make it. And I was looking for proof. And so I spent my money before I ever made it as proof to prove to myself that I was doing what I said. The minute that I started writing things down, I went, wait a second. I just spent $12 3 times a week at the gas station. Now, I understand that $24 doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm going to show you equals 12. If I can find it. Whoops. Well, there we go. Times 3 equals. Oh, 12, 24, 36. Got it. 36. All right. So equals 36. Now, if I can find it, times 4 equals. That's $144 a month at the gas station every month on junk that I never even remembered. Soda here, soda there, pack of gum, muffin, maybe pizza. $12 3 times a week is $144 a month. That is why you have to write down what you spend, where you spend it, and you can't just quit. Do it for at least 30 days. That way you can't pretend, because I'm really good and I noticed this about myself when I started writing things down. Is I could skip McDonald's for a day or two, or I could skip the gas station for 1 week. Like, I can lie to myself and tell myself that I'm not really doing that. But that's all I was doing, is lying to myself, telling myself I'm not really doing that instead of actually putting in the work and saying, hey, I'm really doing this. I am telling my money where to go. To the gas station. $12 a week, or $12 a time, 3 times a week. I am telling my money where to go. Anyway, so I hope that helps you. I want you to know the very first step is writing it down, just getting the data to prove to yourself. 30 days will do it. 30 days will give you a good idea. I challenge you in March or April, however you want to do that. Go ahead and just write it down. Add a line in here and put a description. It's very simple. Okay. I have the dates. All you have to do is add a line and add the date, like copy it from the cell above it. It's already written there. Type it out. Gas station, $12. That's all you gotta write. Here's what's really cool. Say you just got paid, and let's say you have, whoops, whoa, hang on, right here, for $320. You just got paid, get $320 in your account, okay? But your house payment is $700, and your insurance is $300. And then you get paid again. It's another $320. Wait, oops. I can put it in the right spot. $320. Here's where it's really fun. And you're like, I'm in the red. I get $30 for this. Oh my gosh. My 10 key is not on. Okay. So $30 for this overdraft and $30 for this overdraft. And that's a deposit. But I have no money to take out for food or gas or for my phone or for anything else. Because like the bank isn't going to continue to do that because it's like 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Okay. So it's really cool if you can see where you're in the red. But let's say that you understand, hey, look, I'm in the red, something's got to give. Let me get a side job. Let me get a second job. Something to help this not be in the red. Okay. I want to fix this. It costs me a lot of money to go to work. So let me figure out how to fix it. Okay. So let's say you're in production mode. Like you're in, all right, how do I fix it? We're going to move forward. We're going to think forward. Okay. And so let's see, $500. And you're like, whoops. Okay. 500. Okay. Like, no, that didn't fix it. But let's do 800. Oh, I'm in the black. It's finally working for me. That's the power of writing it down and having the data so you can prove to your brain what you need. Does it cost you to go to work? How do you fix that? There's a couple of ways. One, you can get on YouTube and decide that you need to be a better salesperson if you're in sales. Two, you might need to heal past traumas. You might need to learn a new skill. You might need better people skills. Like there are self-help books that you can get on YouTube and find, and it's absolutely free. Okay. It's not going to cost you anything to do some of this stuff. There is a way to make it work. Maybe you realize that you spend XYZ and you want to get something paid off. Like maybe you want to pay for Christmas. Maybe you're still doing that. Maybe you're still playing catch up. Okay, hang on a second. We'll do the tomatoes when we get them. It's not planting time yet. Anyway, so we got to stir up the dirt today and he got to help me with that. So he's super excited about planting tomatoes when they're ready. But anyway, what's really cool about this is if you say, hey, I'm $500 short every single month, I need a better job. You can fix that. Maybe you need a second job. Maybe you need a side job. Maybe you need to cut grass for the extra cash just to pay up bills. But you can't figure out what you need to do unless you know what you need to do and it's staring you in the face and you have the data. And I hope that helps you guys because it was super eye-opening for me. It's what helped me decide that I needed to quit my job and start this full time. It made me realize why I was robbing from Peter to pay Paul. It made me realize that I needed to tell my money where to go because it was going where I was telling it. I just didn't know I was telling it where to go. It's what helped me decide that I needed to take control of my finances again. And I'm not saying it's been easy. I'm saying start. Just start. Just open up the conversation. We all start at start. It doesn't matter if I was making $10 an hour and you were making $30 an hour. We start where we start. We can both be in debt. This doesn't have a whole lot to do with the amount of money you're making. This has to do with writing it down so you can decide where your money needs to go and what it needs to go towards. I love numbers. If you guys want more information about this, if you want one-on-one training, reach out to me. I have a link in my bio, the same one that you used to get the spreadsheet for tonight. Again, like I said, this spreadsheet is so cool because it'll map out for a year so you know what you're making and what you're not making and what you need to do and how to fix it. And you can start planning, oh, I'm $300 short a month or I'm $10,000 short a year. Like you can do all the things, okay, by just writing it down. Nobody's going to call on you. But if you need one-on-one training on how to do that, you need more time with somebody who has done this before, reach out to me. I have that link in my bio. If you need to make more money, I'm part of a Zoom every single week where we talk to people about what our company can do. If you're ready to make that step, again, reach out to me. Email me, message me. It does not matter. You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on Instagram. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can reach me on TikTok. Okay? If you don't do it, you're the reason that it doesn't change. I hope that helps. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. Have fun.